Yo, family, what is good? Welcome back to another daily live stream. This stream will be much shorter than usual because I am aware that the Super Bowl is today. I know it's not for a few hours, but I also would like to kind of watch it, low key. I don't typically watch American football, but I want to at least see what it's like, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I want to get some more work done in other means I had to get done before the Super Bowl, which starts at 11:30 for us. It's going to be a late one, but either way, that's just a small little introduction out of the way. Welcome back again to another daily live stream. We have got some interesting updates to get through in today's stream. Not too many, in all honesty, so it will also be a reason why I have a short stream today. We are looking right now at Kaspa, which is performing extremely well, currently up 10%. Strongest performer, one of them in the market today. Up 10% on the daily time frame, valued at 0.0344 or almost 3.5 cents. I am under the impression we'll probably make a return to this level of resistance up here. And depending on the price action, either we'll see Kaspa start shorting from there or we'll see it push back up to 4 cents. As it currently stands, I am personally, not financial advice of course, I'm anticipating that we'll probably see a move upwards because I think Bitcoin has the possibility of returning back to this level up here between 78k to 85k. Those who are YouTube members, those who are part of the VIP would have stayed tuned and looked into the executive roundtable, which we took place earlier today. And in that roundtable, our experienced market analyst and trader C Crypto had identified that 78k was a crucial zone. And I think that is very much the case, aligning with what our belief is as well. Whether we surpass 78k or not will determine whether we start consolidating at higher levels or at lower levels, which you can learn a lot more about all of that stuff, the levels, the zones, and also the information as to why we could see it surpass that, either being a YouTube member or being part of the VIP community, where you get access to all of that, those live streams, the information, the macro analysis, the institutional breakdowns, and also the trade alerts that we're doing a lot right now as well. So you can find out more right there. Of course, links are down below in the description. Now, I'm under the impression that this week could be quite a big week because there is potential for more headwinds following on. As we mentioned yesterday, there's a potential for a second government shutdown, or should I say a third, or should I say a partial government shutdown, where the DHS has not been given extended funding past the second week. So then the DHS branch will be closed down come Valentine's Day on the 14th of February. Should that happen, you might see some headwinds, but the other agencies will remain open, so it may not be too drastic. Of course, we'll have to play that by ear and wait and see, but there are other developments and sources and catalysts that we need to keep a close eye on. From the macro side of things, as I already mentioned to my VIP community, we got some important ones this week, namely the jobs report, which comes out on Wednesday, and also the CPI that comes out on Friday. There are many others as well that are also important, but those are the two ones I've got a close eye on, which I'll be posting updates for in real time to VIPs. And we want to see these, we need these data to come in good right now, because we are currently at a situation where investors are worried that we are in a recession, which, albeit we may very well be in one. You never really have that confirmation of recession until you're well and truly in one. I don't think we're in one just yet. Jobs right now are at recession levels, but that's because AI are taking people's jobs. It's not a case of production and businesses are slowed down in what they're doing. It's just people aren't being employed right now, which isn't good, of course, but it is not a case of everything slowed down, just AI is taking it over. So I have to keep a close eye on that. We want to see those unemployment reports come in either as expected or better than expected to alleviate these recession concerns. Because we can see right now, apparently we're seeing a massive decline. Some levels we've not seen since, COVID, which is ridiculous how low these levels are. The job market weakness is accelerating, and we are reaching levels close to the 2001 recession just after the dot-com bubble. This report, the jobless came out on the Thursday. So if you aren't aware, that's exactly why the markets dumped and crashed the way they did on Thursday. You can see there, Thursday, 5th of February, that's when jobless came out. That's when you saw Bitcoin go from 74k down to 62 and then down to 60 when the Friday market opened. Of course, we then made a bit of a recovery up to 71k right now. Hopefully we see that momentum continue throughout this week and then see how February plans out after Valentine's Day, which I'm not the most bullish on in the short term. I think we do see a dead cat bounce, come back down, and we'll see where it goes from there. But that's not too spread FUD. It's for me actually quite good. I'm actually happy that we're going to see that, purely because I am under the impression that we're still going to see a big rally in 2026. And we're going to get better entry zones, therefore, because of all these pullbacks, which we are now looking closely into our playbooks, into the documentation that we publish, so we can position ourselves in the assets at lower prices and ride the wave up, be it the AI assets. Some of them are already in my list here. Some of them, of course, are in different lists here, but Potenza Towers, one that I think will do very well. Ondu, of course, Kaspa's the shining star, all of that. Render, I'm very bullish on Render. You've got other, AI asset, meme assets even. While I'm not the biggest holder of memes, they will probably perform well and have some pumps. So Pepe, your Bonks, Turbos could all do quite well when the market recovers. But I think what we're going to see mainly is assets with real utility make the biggest pumps, which is why I think real world assets, AI native assets, Kaspa will perform very well. But that's what we look out for next week. And we are seeing Kaspa make that strong recovery already. Already spoke about this, up 10% right now. Quite comfortably one of the best rallying assets today. Where everything else is kind of flatlining or not moving much. Kaspa's up 10%. That could be a sign that buyers, it's like what we saw back here, where nothing else was really moving, but Kaspa was starting to really pump early on. It looks like the buyers are trying to force Kaspa price up higher, so when this correction comes back later on, the bottom for Kaspa will be at a higher level. If that makes sense, I can break that down a bit more so in regard to what I mean there. If Kaspa was to follow along with Bitcoin right now, it'll probably be in and around 3 cents, give or take, not too much. And that means when Bitcoin starts correcting, Kaspa's value would come down, following Bitcoin, come down a lot lower. With this pump going up higher, it means that in theory, the floor will be at a high level as well. So all these little gains for Kaspa, while doesn't mean we're going to be going through the euphoric rally just yet, for me, it's a necessary pump to stop Kaspa from coming down too low to the point where you actually have to start questioning, are we in trouble? I don't think we're in trouble with Kaspa at all. I think we've still got a lot more time. And in fact, today, should it be going live, Michael Sun has said that the Covenant Plus mini update, the restarting of testnet 12, which will come alongside the Covenant IDs, sequence and commit, base Covenant, ZK precompiles, and Silverscript will all be going live today, reset today. So it's not going to do anything really for price pumping, and not in my belief, but it's a key update that is going to help so much in the future goal of Kaspa becoming a world sequencer, the ultimate protocol for everything finance, everything cryptographic. And we'll hear a lot more about that, I'm sure, throughout this week, alongside some many other major updates as well. Igor Labs made some big updates as well in regards to their next step as they're going close to their full mainnet launch. So we'll hear a lot more about that very soon. And this is why I think this week will be quite big for those updates as well, off the back of all these macro reports. And I think you'll see assets as a whole continue in this, momentary rebound. Bitcoin, ETH, XRP will probably make a bit of a recovery, possibly back up to 1.72. Solana, you can probably see a return back up to probably 120, give or take, if we're fortunate. Kaspa can make a return up to 4 cents, if maybe not a little bit higher. That would be very good if we could see that. And every other asset as well that also having their own time. Pal is rallying like crazy right now. We can see from that bottom it made down here, it's currently up almost 72%. And you also got the likes of Desync, another asset we're looking to, that's also holding some ground right now, around 0.02, up 40% right now as well. Assets that we have got in our playbook, and there are many more as well. Welcome back though, everyone, to the channel once more. Send your chirp. Hola my amigo, who you're doing very well. Lau, welcome back. And you too, Cryptoni. Yeah, that is a very interesting new update from YouTube to give you the blue shield for moderator. I actually like it a lot more. That's cool. Welcome back, go to my man. Double D as well, welcome back. Hello Jay, Kaspa on TV. Love it, absolutely love it, my man. I appreciate it very much having me on the big screen so you can see my beautiful mug. Welcome back, Nathan, as well. Vitalik needs to come up with his own ideas. Stop doing it from Jonathan Polinsky. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But at the same time, as long as he keeps doing it, it's just going to mean he's going to forever be 1, 2, 10 steps behind Kaspa. The more he keeps doing it, the more it proves that what Kaspa building is the future and gives us strong conviction that we're in the right space. So I'm not worried by him doing that. I know he's got a bigger platform. There has been concerns that because he's got such a, Ethereum's so big that they actually just take over and suppress Kaspa because of that. But once more, you're thinking about what some Vitalik Buterin was trying to build on Ethereum. It's on a proof of stake, which doesn't inherently work the same as the proof of work. Kaspa, for me, is not that threat at all in that regard. We also have to see what gold and silver are going to do tomorrow because weekly and monthly top, but there's still room for a small run, we will see. And carry trade, yes, that's actually some of the big talking points we spoke about earlier on in our executive roundtable, and also the VIP that we published to our members. They cover that in detail about the sort of stuff that's not being considered regarding gold, regarding the Japanese economy right now, and ultimately how it could impact the yen carry trade. So those who are YouTube members should be able to watch that right here and now and get insight on what should be taking place this week, this month, and even throughout 2026 with the institutional breakdown as well. But we have got a lot of significant... This is going to be a huge week, a volatile week. I'm hoping it'll be a week that does result in a continual rally, but I think it will, in my personal belief, be relatively short-lived, followed by potential headwinds as we go into the second half of February. On the back of all the other macro reports and even developments like this as well, which, albeit it is not the most reassuring stuff right now, but it is still steps needed to be taken to get us at that moment, that level where we can start seeing the sentiment shift. A lot of what's happening right now is the euphoria and the belief regard get involved with crypto, get involved with AI. They're now meeting accountability. That's the issue we're currently at right now, the crossroads we're at. All the institutions, everyone was so bullish on crypto and AI, sending it higher and higher. But now it's like, okay, but we need to relegate this stuff, make sure it's safe. We need to have accountability that it's actually being utilized properly. And that's why you're seeing kind of the market's not pushing enough, because we haven't got this all in play yet. The Clarity Act right now is being stifled and stalled by Democrats. The Genius bill that's already passed through the courts of law and Trump signed it, or passed through Congress and Trump signed it. Dems are also now raising concerns on that. Banks are raising concerns on that right now. And whether they're justified or not, that's a debate that we can have at another time. But the point being is this is not reassuring for the landscape we're going to be going into with crypto. And then AI, same thing as well. Regulators are not caught up yet, so people right now are very unsure about AI. We've got this write-up here from the former Fox business journalist, Eleanor Terrett, which talks about the next meeting coming on Tuesday, where the White House has scheduled a second meeting with representatives from crypto and banking industries in an effort to broker an agreement on the payment of stablecoin yields by crypto firm. This has been the sole issue with why we have not been seeing the progression of the Clarity Act. The literal main reason why the bill's not developed any further is because there's a stonewall disagreement between how institutions, how banks, how people generate rewards from stablecoin yields. Banks want them to be the ones to generate rewards from stablecoin yields, so therefore people, us, or crypto firms cannot be the one to generate rewards, so we can't passively make money. And crypto firms are like, no, everyone should be able to do that, which I agree with them. But banks are holding strong on that front. That's why they're not seeing it move forward at all. Similar to the last meeting, the second gathering will not include company CEOs. However, senior policy staff and from individual banks will be present. Sources familiar with the plans to innovation have already gone out to some of the major banks like Bank of America, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and it could also include PNC, Citibank, and US Bank. And we'll hear more about it soon. Crypto trade reps are expected to attend alongside a handful of other banking sectors, including the Bank Policy Institute, the American Bankers Association, and the Independent Community Bankers of America. In terms of reaching a deal, it's way too soon to say which of the various proposals will resolve this issue, may gain traction, though it's expected to though the meeting is expected to discuss specifics from a potential compromise. So we'll see that come through on Tuesday, and that will hopefully give us some insight in regards to whether we're going to see this bill pass before, or at least get for the progression before spring or not, which right now it is looking tough. We are seeing continual headwinds. We have got this update, which is kind of reassuring, which is the CFTC updates stablecoin criteria to include national bank trust or trust banks. which moved to clarify that they were never meant to be excluded, expanding the pool of regulated US stablecoin issuers. I believe that Ripple, if not already, they are applying to become a trust, like a national trust license. I think they've got a national trust license, which means that actually they would, be legally allowed. Which they have got their RUSD. Whether that's for the betterment of crypto and the future of crypto and Ripple or not, that is a debate that you're welcome to have. Of course, there are a lot of grey areas around Ripple XRP, which are completely justified. But this is still a reassuring step forward from the CFTC to make crypto more accommodating in America. We can only hope that this will equally go and coincide with what's happening between the banks and the crypto firms in negotiations right now, which once more still meeting headwinds. So it sounds like, it's just continual bad news after bad news. When's the end going to be in sight? That's how these streams are kind of manifest into, and I don't like it. But this is just the news right now, and we're trying to, analyze the situation and come from it in a logical point of view, which is this is what's happening. We're seeing a lot of talks, a lot of negotiations, which aren't really panning out well for Viscon, but that's for right now. But what they do is they set a foundation for when these developments do come through, and the clarity is there. The institution will be like, cool, we're ready now. Trillions, pump, straight away, going high, much higher in the markets. I still think that happens this year. Maybe more so towards the end of Q3, but it's still entirely possible. I think by the second half of this year, you'll see a lot more momentum. And multiple assets we're looking into, and explained even more so why in my VIP community. I've posted, of course, some of the documentation on my Twitter account, be it this document here from Coinbase, which talks about what they're looking into, that we're going to hopefully start seeing a cycle that's more similar to the 1996 style euphoria before the dot-com bubble burst, as opposed to 1999, which means we've got a few good years of rallying right now, which I'm looking forward to when that time comes. We spoke about documentation from the likes of Dow Jones, which talks about the and PwC talking about regulations, which is very important. Dow Jones here talking about how they need to have proof, evidence, and demonstrations that crypto serves real economic needs. All these sort of developments, while they just sound like buzzwords, they are important, and it tells you exactly what institutions are looking into, and therefore what we need to look into going forward as well. It's crucially important. And then we actually got this other update as well. And yes, but Double D says here, well, I appreciate it very, very much. Smash the like button if you enjoy the content. Try to do streams daily, then leave a like, of course. As always, I'll be back again, as always, tomorrow and every single day as I can be, providing as many more updates as we continue going through this manic market, aiming to create financial freedom. So time to load up. I mean, of course, up to you, Nessie. I'm not a financial advisor. I think we can see a bounce from here. So you could look into profiting from that bounce. But I don't think we're in that euphoric stage just yet. I do think that we are currently seeing Kappa rally, and we're going to see a bit of a relief, continual momentum going up, hopefully throughout this week, as long as the other developments support that, which therefore means no more geopolitical crisis, be it US versus Iran, be it this government shutdown looming. This stuff needs to be avoided with. And then you've got the macro. The macro needs to come through good. If we see bad macro reports, it will be a short-lived run and then come straight back down. So we need to see those developments come through. If they do, then we'll see a bit of a bounce, continual relief rally, and then you'll probably see the market reverse going into the following week, which we'll talk about more so when the time comes. We have more information on hand. We want to see these meetings, the negotiations go through smoothly as well. We want to see more developments like this as well. I want to go through this post here from Raoul Pal, which I think, it's a very, very long post here, but it is something that I think is worth us kind of looking through briefly here, which just talks about the current crash we saw on the market, how we should be feeling, or what we are feeling, and ultimately where we should be thinking of going from here. It feels brutal out there. There's no hope. It's over. You missed it, and you messed up again. Everyone is angry, confused. People are who even foresee the real people who even saw it feel pleased, but many can also see how much price action this hurts people. I've been in the market for 38 years now, and I've seen this type of crash and panic. They all feel the same. I've been in crypto since 2013. I bought my first Bitcoin at $200 back then, and it rallied and it fell. and then it fell again 3 years later. He suffered many setbacks. He made 10x's of visual entry. You know, he's going through the market for a long time, bought during the COVID crash. And then, you know, he's just talking about this whole post is here is just Raoul Pal's perspective of how he's lived through these markets, the pumps, the gains he's made, the shortcomings, the issues, and the lack of guidance he had when he lost his money as well. The first lesson to him in this secular rising asset is just to do nothing. Hold is a meme for a very good reason. And it is the truth of the matter. If you're in the right assets, if you are you know, holding something that actually has real value, or building something that's going to have real value in the future, sometimes just holding and leaving it is the best strategy. While holding for dear life is a meme, it can just be the best strategy. Of course, there are other ways you make money, be it through swing trading, be it through you're just here for a cycle, whatever it may be. Most people who are kind of, if you look at the Kaspa analytics right now, people who are holding Kaspa right now, most of them are Bitcoin maximalists, or visually were so. And because of that, they understand very much so the importance of just holding on to something and just forgetting about it. People with 3 months right now are in a similar boat, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, all just holding it, all forgetting about it, not doing anything with it, because they understand that that's sometimes the best thing to do. Just to leave it alone. Second lesson that Raoul Pal had was to add aggressively in these sell-offs. When there's blood in the streets, that's the time to buy. That's what the Rothschild family said. Now, there was talks in our executive roundtable earlier from economists saying that now is the time to buy. Of course, do so at your own discretion. Right now, I'm still stacking Kaspa, of course. I'm not holding anything else just yet, because I do anticipate potentially further pullbacks, and I want to get into those dips. But I do think there's going to be a premium entry coming very shortly for this market, and the market will reverse following that as well. So once we keep getting good data like the ISM rallying, all the other stuff coming out, we're going to see a recovery. You got a new Fed that'll be coming in the next 3 months that'll hopefully start bringing liquidity back to the market again. We can only hope. We've got things to still look forward to. Ultimately, you've got to ask yourself the question, will tomorrow be more digital than today? Will fiat currency be worth less than today? And the answer is we are seeing fiat die. Slowly but surely, it's dying off more and more. Digital currencies, the digital landscape is continuing to grow. Holding crypto is not a case of just making money quickly. It's holding in a future. That's my belief, at least. That's why I continue to stack crypto. The stress, fear, and self-doubt are to be expected, but what you need to do is just analyze your own risk tolerance, don't worry, and just continue trucking on. Earn your conviction. You know, that is precisely what Raoul Pal's talking about here. And it's something that even myself, I'm doing right now in my community. I've given numerous rundowns, breakdowns, information, analysis, whatever it may be, into the VIP during all this turbulence. Funnily enough, all coinciding with our predictions, we had called, while not to the exact levels, we have called every single recent pullback, when it was going to happen, what developments would cause this pullback. We were prepared for it. But we also very much are aware of what the institutional sentiment is around this asset class, which is not that, oh no, Bitcoin's down to 70k, let's get out of it now, let's leave it alone forever. No. They're like, oh, okay, let's take profits. And actually, even in them, there's been a very equal number of buyers and sellers, believe it or not. It's just the outflows have significantly outweighed the inflows. But the amount of people doing it is no different. And also been buying more institutions. Retail is the ones who's selling most of the capital. The market is going to recover. And when it does, you want to be on the right side of history for it. Seeing what Kaspa building right now is going to be insane. Seeing all developments here, while lackluster and while slow and while grueling, these will give us a precedent of what's going to come. These are headline news, right? And it tells us how we currently are, but it also tells you how to position yourself. When you see that we're at a recession levels in the job market, you shouldn't think, oh no, we're done for. You think, okay, how can I capitalize off that? That's the mindset that you should have as an investor. When you see negative news, you don't think, oh, everything's over and get emotional. But think about, okay, how do I leverage that to my advantage? That's how I've made my money. Despite the market corrections throughout the last 2-3 years and this whole cycle, this manicness, I've continued making money year on year. Because I got into assets. Sometimes I got lucky with a meme. I bid 20, 30 X's and I made big gains off that. Sometimes I got into whilst I can Kaspa continue going down, I've made gains in other assets. I've got into SUI when it was at 118. 118, it went up to $5. I've gone to XRP at 50 cents, and it went up to $3, $3.50. I've got into the other assets that I've made significant gains, taking profits, and continue to rotate the capital. Trades that we're doing the VIP, I've made gains of that as well, and continue to rotate that capital. Because I've done the research, I've looked through all this documentation here, all this stuff here that talks about what's happening in the market, the sentiment's happening right now, how we should prepare ourselves. And I don't think, oh yeah, recession levels, job market, I'm thinking, okay, what's done for the market? Well, because of that news, we saw Bitcoin dump over 10%. We saw a crash on Thursday because of that news. Going under 60k. And now we're seeing the rally back upwards as well. But because that fund's still very much there, I'm like, okay, so I know what's really important to investors right now. It's the job report. That's why Wednesday's going to be so big. You get non-farm payroll. So I'm right now predicting that you'll see Bitcoin maybe make a bit of a push, hopefully to release some pressure. And then depending on that report, either we see Bitcoin crash again, or we see maybe a little bit of relief and continue. It depends on the reports. Right now, this is why fundamentals for me is so very important. TA is great. We love technical analysis. It gives us our zones, let us know where to buy and sell. But fundamentals let you know when the market's going to go up or down, which you can learn more about, the macro, understanding how the markets move, the perspective of professional traders and economists and institutional sentiment, all available in the VIP community. Which links up to that are all down below in the description. Down below in the description, and you find it all in the free Discord server as well. I'd rather listen to this than watch Super Bowl. Well, I appreciate it very, very much. Which, for better or for worse, thankfully today is not too much news, which sometimes is nice, just having kind of a very general overview of the market. Like right now, markets are looking a bit better. Capital doing very, very well. I think it's all a bit of a nice relief in anticipation of what's going to be happening this week, which is going to be another very, very volatile week. We can only hope it won't cause too much negative price action. And this therefore means that we can position ourselves accordingly for how the markets are going to move. But sometimes it also, I'm looking forward to watch the book because I want to have some downtime, just have a little bit of release, watch people hit each other hard as opposed to just watching myself get hit hard by the markets. For me, no Stoch RSI top daily and too much movement. I'll wait for a week. TikTok patience. Yes, some of those technical analysis indicators, they work perfectly well. I used that at the very beginning when I was first doing my trading journey. I was using Stoch RSI, moving averages, fib retracement, all this sort of stuff, and I'd use them on occasion. But I came to realize that I actually had a lot more success just learning the fundamentals, knowing what news came out, how it impacted the markets, and then just finding the zones from there. The part that can be difficult in that is predicting the news, which is why the VIP community I have is all about talking about all the potential catalysts that could cause market movement, so we know what's going to move. Like the job report on Thursday, that was one that we were like we knew if it came down bad at recession levels. That's the concern that we had. Where is it there? So we are aware of therefore how important it's going to be on Wednesday. When you see these non-farm payroll, if these reports come in bad, which they're likely to come in badly after we just saw from the jobless claims, if they come in bad though, and they come in too bad, you'll see another big pullback. Another big flush, because people right now are thinking, oh, we're in a recession. But we'll have to wait and see. Once more, families, you want to find out more, if you want to tune in and watch this this executive roundtable, either you be part of the YouTube membership and you can just tune in and watch it there, or you can sign up more, get access to documentation and much more in the VIP community, which that is right here. 7-day free access, and all links are down below in the description. But that will actually be doing it for today's stream, family. A bit of a short one, I know, but hopefully it was just jam-packed with the current sentiment of the market. Nothing too much happening today, but it does leave a precedent for what's going to be happening throughout this week in regards to what we should expect movement for assets, what will move the markets. Kaspa, we can see a bit more momentum, hopefully, with these sort of updates coming out, what IGRA's doing, what cashbacks are doing. This stuff hopefully could be very insightful, so we'll hopefully see a bit more of a relief for Kaspa. I'm hoping we see a 4 cents. It's a possibility, but I'm not sure if we'll surpass that just yet. I'd love us to do so, but we'll have to wait and see. If we do surpass this level here of 3.6 cents and we end the trading day above that, and you know, of course, keeping into account the non-farm payroll and the inflation reports, if we end up surpassing that and continue momentum, I might look into taking potential short trade around 4 cents. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. See what our traders in the VIP are also cooking up right now. So our Lambo and Chart have been doing very, very well. Has some short trades going on right now. And you can find out a lot more, as always, in the VIP. With that being said, family, short and sweet, that I'll conclude today's Kaspa and Crypto live stream. If you enjoyed, as always, please give me a like, share, and subscribe for more. Tomorrow's stream will be at the usual time, earlier than normal, but 7 PM UK time. So hopefully I'll see you all there with a lot more impactful updates and market breakdowns. That being said, family, have a great day, good evening, and good night. Enjoy the Super Bowl later as well. I know I will be. And I will see you all in the next one.